Well, hello. I'm here with Dr. Bob Mortimer from the Department of Clinical Sciences at Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado. And we're at the 2011 Northwest Florida Beef Cattle Conference. And Dr. Mortimer, you've been talking to the group about calving and difficulties in calving. What are some of the key points that our producers would need to know about calving?
And my presentation today was trying to empower the producers with a better decision-making process when they are in the calving season. Once they've made the decision on how they're going to breed them and how they're feeding them, now they're down to nitty-gritty in terms of, you know, how often should they be checking these animals during calving? When should they provide assistance? Can they actually or should they actually pull the calf? And these are decisions that are not to be taken lightly, because you can make the wrong decision right during calving season and you've cost yourself a calf after all the investments that you've got up to that point. So my emphasis is on understanding the physiological and mechanical relationships of providing assistance. What is stage 1, stage 2 of labor, how long they are, what do they mean relative to developing guidelines for intervention. For example, stage 1 normally in a heifer lasts around 6 hours. If that heifer is in stage 1 of labor and has not progressed into stage 2 within 8 hours, she needs to be checked out. Quite frankly, if you go longer than that, she has a high risk of having a stillbirth calf in her before she even gets started. If they're in stage 2, which is actually the stage where the calf is being delivered, they can be pretty lazy and walk around with their water sack out for a couple of hours, and boy, you better check them out after a couple of hours, because again, the same thing, we may have a stillbirth calf. The reason for that, we have what's going on inside the heifer placental separation. If they're really down pushing and trying to push the calf out, you should be able to make that decision on whether assistance is necessary within about a 30-minute period of time. And sometimes if you see something abnormal, either to the calf or that the calf is coming wrong, you know, in other words, if you have fetal stress, then you don't want to wait 30 minutes. You're going to want to provide intervention as soon as possible to optimize calf survivability. Our goal is to allow that calf an optimal chance of surviving until it becomes a product for your consumer. You know, if we just think about whether the calf's alive at birth, we have missed the whole mark in terms of
so you're looking at a big picture.
We're looking at the big pictures, because the decisions we make that first 24 hours affects the productivity of that animal all the way through until they come out of the feedlot.
So the calving efficiency and whether or not they're under duress really affects the bottom line when you look at the big picture.
It does, and there's so many aspects of it that need to be taken into consideration. And the producers are very gracious today and ask very intelligent questions. You can tell they're wanting to make some changes. We tried to describe what's called the Utrecht method of delivery compared to the German technique, and quite frankly, there's a world of difference in terms of being able to assist calving and deliver a calf.
It sounds like you've looked a lot at delivering calves.
We do. Like I said, we train students, and we calve out around 4,000 heifers every spring in a 4-week period of time with those students, and boy, that's a lot of work. But the learning that comes from that has just been a blessing to me over the last 30 years.
And with all that work that you've done on this and the training that you've done, you've developed some resources that folks can purchase to make themselves a little more confident doing it.
Right. We have a DVD that was put together by Elanco and Beef Today, where they actually come out on the ranches and we were calving and videoed a lot of things, and they're a good training set for people to go through with their help. A manager really should get everybody on board before calving starts. This learning by trial and error the first 3 weeks of calving costs you a lot of money. And so these are for sale. I have an email address in the handout that we have available. The email address is rmort4608@live.com, and these DVDs can be ordered from that email address there. In the handout, you can send me on the email. You can, and we would be glad to send you the handout as a complimentary. We try to do that as well because we have some good illustrations in there for different problems.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming all the way from Colorado to talk at the Northwest Florida Beef Conference this year. And I'm Clyde Smith, Jackson County Extension Service, and thank you, Dr. Bob.
Thank you very much.